So you said your mom is a property manager?
Yeah, in the city. Yeah.
And yeah, so tell us. Well, I mean, I already know the story, but tell the audience about the story of helping her like with the house that you guys disclosed
Oh, okay,
recently.
okay. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know it's very emotional and very.
Yeah. So, my mom, she's been a property manager for like 20 years in the city. So she introduced the idea of, investing to me in general because, I come from the South Bronx. I grew up there. Almost everybody there I know, we just rent out property. We don't own anything, especially like in my family, we don't really own property like that. We just got the first one over the past summer. So we started looking last year when I got my license. We started looking last summer, and we were putting in a bunch of offers for a bunch of different houses and stuff. But interest rates were super low at the time last summer, so we were just getting outbidded and outpriced on every property that we were looking for. And we even got an accepted offer on one property that we thought was perfect. We were only looking in the Westchester and Yonkers area, so we got an accepted offer. We scheduled the inspection, and then literally a couple hours before the inspection, the agent calls me. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the owner accepted another offer that was $10,000 more than your offer." And that was just kind of like a heartbreaker for us. So my mom, she just wanted to take a break after that because at the time we couldn't really get another property that was like that one or equivalent to that one because we just kept getting outbidded, and the interest rate started rising a little bit, so she couldn't really qualify for certain things.
Mhm.
So we just took a little break for about like 3 or 4 months. Then we started looking again. So this process was basically like a year of us like looking for the best deal that we could find. So we started looking again, maybe I would say like last fall. We were going on every other weekend, or during the weekdays sometimes we were looking and stuff. I was also helping other clients at the time. So spring happened and we just started going like full force, like, nah, we need to make this happen now. Like, who cares about the interest rates? We got to put the best offer. We got to find out. We got to connect with all these agents to see what deal that we can get. So I made that my number one priority over the summer. I was like, I want to get this house from my mom. I want to help her. I want to help our family. So we were looking, and May of this year, we started going crazy, like looking almost every day for houses. And then we found one in the middle of Yonkers, which is like the perfect location to be at right now. It's a multi-family, a two-family house. So, we went to the house and we realized, okay, like it's priced this way for a reason. We need to fix up the entire house so we can actually, build up equity in the house, and we can build the house the way that we want to build it. So we knew that going into the house. So we got it in the mid 500s, so we got it at a good price. And so we connected with the owners. So they were Puerto Rican, like us, like me and my mom. So it was a mother and her daughter. She was the same age as me, kind of the same story. The lady was the same age as my mom. My mom had me at 18, by the way. So she raised me as a single mom from the time I was 10 until, now basically. So we connected immediately with the owners just through that. So we
Mhm.
went with them throughout the entire house, and they were telling us about everything. And my mom, she loves like old houses and the way it looks. And, the house had good bones as well too. So she knew going into the house that we would have to like fix up everything, but she was totally fine with it. And right after that, we put in an offer, and we got it accepted literally within like an hour after we put an offer in. And we were just so happy finally, after like a year of searching, that we found something. And we set up the inspection right after that. And the inspector that I work with, he's a really good guy, and he was telling us like, oh, like this is gonna be great. Like, you guys can make a lot of money off this house. Like, once you fix it up, there's a lot of cash flow that you can make with this house. And that was the main goal. We wanted to get a multifamily first before a single family, because she's a property manager. She already knows how to manage properties, manage houses, and things like that. So, and we wanted to make an investment for our family. Build generational wealth, build up our net worth, build up our real estate portfolio, rent out the property, and also help people at the same time as we're renting out the property and stuff. So um, basically, after I think we closed within 2 months of the after the contract date. So we went on the contract, I would say like 2 weeks after we got the offer accepted. So, basically the way you buy a house is you put the offer in, and then you definitely should always get an inspection, because the inspector will tell you, if the house has good bones. He's going to tell you what's good, everything bad about the house. He's going to be straightforward with you. tell you if there's anything that's going to be very pricey to fix or to replace. Um, so he'll just lay everything out for you, and then he'll give you an inspection report and tell you everything. And it's also a very good negotiation tactic. After the inspection, he'll give you a report, and then you negotiate with the sellers on what you want to get fixed. So that's exactly what we did. So after we got the inspection, we knew the house needed like a gutter renovation, and we wanted to fix everything anyway. So he was telling us that we need to replace the roof within the next like 5 years. The basement has things that need to be fixed. I had some like molding and stuff or whatever. The appliances all needed to be updated. Everything needed to be updated in that house. The plumbing, the electrical. It's just an old house. It was built like in 1908. So the owners like took care of it. Obviously, it's been over 100 years, but it had good bones. The foundation was good in the house. So that's the most important thing when you're looking to buy a house is like the foundation of the property, because that could be the most expensive thing to fix. Sometimes it's up to like 50,000 just to fix certain things in the foundation. So after we got that inspection report, we were able to negotiate $20,000 off of the original offer that we put. So I labeled everything out that needed to be fixed in the house from the inspection report, sent it over to the agent, and told him like, listen, these are the things that came up in the inspection. These are what we want to get fixed. But if not, you guys can give us credit for it, and then we'll just lower the asking price. And since we built that good relationship with the sellers, they thought it was a no-brainer anyway. And they wanted to sell the house. They thought we were the people that were going to take care of it the most. So we were able to negotiate that. So then after we negotiated that, we got on the contract. And the way you get on the contract is you always want to work with a real estate attorney. You don't want to work with just any attorney. It has to be a real estate attorney that knows all the rules and regulations, all the laws, and they're gonna protect you no matter what. So we wrote up the contracts, and it took another week, and then we finally got on the contract. And once you go on the contract, then everything is solidified. They can't take another offer. They can't just be like, oh, like we want to accept this offer that's 20,000 more, because you're already on the contract. You have a binding agreement. So after that, it took us about like 45 days to close after we were under contract. And during that time, there's a lot of stressful things that can happen. Very like minimal things that seem like the end of the world or whatever. So I was just trying to tell my mom to just like keep calm, keep patient. When you're trying to build generational wealth and a real estate portfolio, the number one thing you need is patience. You really, really need to be patient, because this is not a get rich quick scheme. You definitely need to be patient with it. And everything worked out the way it was supposed to work out. And we got the sale of the house in August, and then we started rebuilding the whole thing. And now we're renting it out to a tenant with the first floor, and now we're fixing up the second floor and the basement as well. Try to build up as much cash flow we can in the property.